6 new indie horror games that dropped this week. Sleep is canceled. Something is wrong with this week. 6 fresh indie horror games just clawed their way onto Steam, and not one of them plays nice. We're going from haunted classrooms to the bottom of the ocean, so dim the lights and stick around, because at least a couple of these are getting buried in my wishlist tonight. 1. Smile and Play, released June 27, 2026. Let's start with the one whose name is basically a trap. Smile and Play. Sounds adorable, right? Like a kid's show. That's exactly the problem, because the whole vibe here is that cheerful, sugary, primary color world slowly peeling back to show you what's underneath. And trust me, you do not want to know what's underneath. This dropped on June 27th, and it's leaning hard into that uncanny mascot energy that's been giving people nightmares lately. You know the feeling, the grin that's a little too wide, the voice that's a little too friendly, something pretending really hard to be safe. I love when a game weaponizes cuteness against you, and this one looks like it knows exactly what it's doing. Go in expecting to play and let it figure out how to make you stop smiling. Who's brave enough to boot this one up first? 2. Missing a Kid Snap, released June 25th, 2026. Now here's one that genuinely made me uncomfortable just reading the title, and honestly, good. Missing a Kid Snap. It came out June 25th, and it sits in this dark little simulation space where the subject matter alone makes your stomach drop. This isn't jump scares and monsters in the closet. This is the slow, creeping kind of dread, the kind built on something that feels way too real. Indie devs keep finding these heavy human horrors that haunt you longer than any ghost ever could, and that's the lane this one is driving straight into. I'm not going to spoil the setup because part of the experience is sitting with that unease and not knowing what's coming. If you like your horror quiet, tense, and a little morally heavy, this might be the one that sticks with you after you close the game. Proceed carefully with this one. Seriously. 3. Deeper, released June 25th, 2026. Okay, take a breath, because this next one is all about going down literally. It's called Deeper, and it launched June 25th as this tense little blend of simulation and strategy that's basically a slow-motion panic attack. Picture managing something, anything, while you keep pushing further down into the dark, and every single decision starts to feel heavier than the last. That's the hook. It's not the thing chasing you that gets you here, it's the math. The resources, the choice you made 3 layers up that you can't take back. I genuinely love horror that comes from pressure instead of monsters, where the scariest enemy is your own bad planning. How deep are you actually willing to go before it all collapses? Strategy nerds who also like sweating through their hoodie, this one was made for you, and I kind of can't look away from it. 4. Last Dive, Echo Trench, released June 23, 2026. Speaking of going down into the dark, let's go even deeper, all the way to the ocean floor. Last Dive, Echo Trench hit Steam on June 23rd, and it's tapping into the one fear I will never be over, the deep sea. There's nothing quite like that pressure of the unknown, where your flashlight only reaches a few feet and everything past that is just black water and bad ideas. This is an atmospheric adventure where the silence does most of the heavy lifting, and every shape in the distance makes your heart skip. Is it a rock? Is it a wreck? Is it something looking back at you? The trench doesn't answer. It just waits. If thalassophobia is your personal kryptonite, congratulations! You found your nightmare for the week. I'll be playing this with every light in my apartment on, and zero regrets about it. 5 Night Duty Log, a Shōwa school record, released June 23, 2026. Alright, surface back up, because this next one takes us somewhere very different and very, very quiet. Night Duty Log, a Shōwa school record. This came out June 23rd, and it absolutely nails that Japanese horror atmosphere I can never resist. Picture an old-school building during the Shōwa-era, empty hallways, flickering lights, and you on night duty when you really, really shouldn't be alone. There's something about that setting, the worn wood, the faded posters, the silence that feels too thick, that just gets under your skin before anything even happens. This is slow burn dread done with real craft, the kind that makes you afraid to turn the next corner. Why is it always schools at night that feel the most haunted? If you love that classic eerie J-horror mood over cheap scares, clear your evening, because this looks like the real patient creeping deal. 6. SCP Mr. Jupiter, released June 23, 2026. And to close out the chaos, here's one for the SCP heads. And it won't cost you a single cent. SCP Mr. Jupiter dropped June 23rd, totally free to play, which means you have absolutely no excuse not to scare yourself silly tonight. If you know the SCP universe, you already know the deal. Anomalous entities, sterile facility hallways, and rules you break at your own very deadly risk. The whole appeal of these games is that creeping question of what exactly Mr. Jupiter is and what he wants. And free-to-play SCP titles have a real habit of punching way above their budget when it comes to pure tension. So grab a friend, grab a flashlight, and go meet something you'll wish you hadn't. Free horror with friends. That's a Saturday night sorted. Honestly, start here if you just want to jump in right now. And that's 6 brand new nightmares fresh off Steam this week. If even one of these got under your skin, do the devs a real favor and toss it on your wish list. Because for tiny indie horror teams, that's the difference between making the next game and disappearing. Hit follow so you never miss a drop like this, and tell me down below which one you're actually brave enough to play first. Sleep well, or try.